course, what do we know there? He lost them both. Many people were saying, what was his preparation like going in against Usyk first time around? Do you want to talk us through that?
Obviously, the first fight, I wouldn't say the preparation was the best. A lot of situations, obviously, head trainer Rob was in Tokyo with GB Boxing, and kind of like I think I felt a lack of leadership and instructor into the training, and obviously. Is when you go, I had conversations with AJ, you need to really go and stick on this guy. It kind of like, sometimes fighters, they just think this is the way, and it's very hard to get them out of that belief that they have. So he kind of like, because obviously all the public, when, he can box, he kind of move, he's static. So he went, you know what, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to beat him in the way that everyone thinks I'm not going to do it.
He made the wrong decisions himself there massively, because his main strengths are obviously, fighting with his heart on his sleeve, going in there. But it sounds like when McCracken was out in Tokyo, like we know what Anthony Joshua was like, and Anthony Joshua, from the psychological side of things, he likes everything to be in place.
Yeah,
it's like a little bit of OCD, really.
Did you admit, Angel, you got the tactics wrong first time around against Usyk?
Yeah. I think
it didn't work. As a team, it
just didn't work as a team. Like three voices, three coaches don't work. Three different approaches as well. Obviously, we try to respect each other, as much as we can, but it's kind of like you're having three captains in a boat. It's just that doesn't work.
Yeah. And thereafter, next time he fights him, and again, it's the same result. What was it that Usyk had that Joshua could not cope with?
Obviously, you can watch a fighter, you can analyze a fighter. This is what you're gonna, in a way, expect. But you don't know that till you face the man in front of you. And maybe just saw something. He got underneath his skin, and we went back to back. We didn't have the time to, maybe after that defeat, to build a bit of confidence. Maybe with other fighters, we just went straight away to the guy that defeated Anthony in the first fight. And the second cup again it's a lot of situations. His head wasn't there, obviously, because a defeat is hard to take. Very, very, very hard to take.
Especially the second one, wasn't it, Simon?
Andrew, can I just go? The second loss is the fruit of the poison tree from the first loss. The first loss starts the challenges for Anthony Joshua. Obviously, Ruiz, he loses to, he beats Ruiz. I'm trying to understand, with you two guys in his corner, and I understand that having more than one voice can be distracting. Whose decision was it to allow Anthony Joshua to take Usyk on in a fight in the only way that Anthony Joshua could have possibly lost that fight, which is fighting Usyk's fight? Because it seems to me that that's a decision that's being made that you've accepted, that Rob McCracken's accepted, and that conventional wisdom would have said nobody in their right mind would have ever told Anthony Joshua to fight Usyk the way he fought him in the first fight. That's the only way he probably loses that fight. So I'm trying to understand how that manifests itself, because there's always been a question, because I heard rumours from very reliable sources that Anthony Joshua walks into various environments asking trainers of other fighters, well, before he's walking into a ring in a world title fight, how would you fight this fight? Now that to me strikes at the very heart of some of the challenges that might have happened there. Can you just explain to us how that manifests itself?
Obviously, there is stories that happened in terms of like asking questions. How would you fight this guy? What do you think I should do?
Hours before a world title fight.
Hours, days, weeks, months. And sometimes, like, as a trainer, you try to control everything as much as you can. But then sometimes, as much as you try to convince your fighter this is the way, at the end of the day, I'm not saying this is Anthony Joshua's fault. It's also my fault. Yeah. I'm the first one to accept the how would you say the error in this?
The blame.
Yeah, the blame. Because I should have done better. And my message to him after the first fight was, I failed you. I failed you in a way like I should have been this way. And I just went with everything. And I think it was complacency by everyone. We kind of
Right.
like just felt comfortable.
Yeah.
We maybe, I wouldn't say undermine Usyk, but we kind of like just felt, oh, he's just another guy.
Yeah,
Maybe underestimated Usyk. But you know what struck me, Angel? I didn't recognise the Anthony Joshua after the second defeat, who was getting out of the ring, then get back in the ring, grabbed the microphone and started sounding off. We didn't see that coming, did you?
I did. I mean, I didn't see that coming either. But again, if I am on Anthony Joshua's skin, I will probably maybe react pretty much the same. It's in the hit in the moment. I know, like from ourselves sitting here, we adjust that, we look at that, we analyze that, and we go, I wouldn't do it. And you wouldn't do it till you're there in that moment, and that happens to you. You know, like.
So that was Angel Fernandez, as he admits that he failed Anthony Joshua later on in the interview. He told him after the first fight that, hey, I failed you. I should have done it this way and I didn't. My counterpunch to this interview was the first thing you think about is Angel Fernandez was definitely put in a situation where he wasn't really familiar with. The first fight, Rob McCracken was busy doing other stuff with the GB team in Japan. So he was left with the responsibility on his own to deal with someone that didn't look at him as the head trainer anyway. So, by default, people, Anthony Joshua was led mentally by people, haters, criticizers, spectators, whatever you want to call them. He was led into thinking that he needs to box Usyk and fight his fight. As you guys heard, definitely, on a particular question that was asked by Talk Sports, who left him in charge of that? And the answer is, he did. Anthony Joshua left himself in charge because there was nobody in charge, really. Okay, Rob McCracken wasn't there like he should have been. Okay? He wasn't there like he should have been. You know, Angel Fernandez was there and he pretty much was around AJ, and AJ thought, hey, let me try to fight Usyk's fight, which is dumb. You guys seen my prediction in that fight. In 2021, I told you guys that if Joshua tries to outbox Usyk, he will lose. And I don't like to be right all the time, but like logically, if you know that one guy is one of the best boxers on the planet versus another guy that's a boxer puncher, basically, that has good boxing fundamentals based on what he knows and his desire to want to learn more and more. Okay, that's potential. That's not actually there at the time. That's not the current situation you're in. You're just learning. Usyk already knows this stuff. Usyk went in there and did exactly what he's supposed to do. AJ did not. You know, and to ask someone else, how do I beat Usyk right before the fight, is absolute evidence of he didn't know where to go and where to turn. Now, I respect Angel Fernandez for coming forth and saying, hey, you know what? I failed AJ. But then what about the second fight? He wasn't by himself. You had Robert Garcia there just to really get a check, honestly, I think at this point. Because he wasn't the one in the ring. He was the one on the side. You know, he kind of sat back and watched Angel do what Angel probably did anyway. Normally did. He watched him. Hey, okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I agree with that, Angel. Yeah. So that's pretty much how it went. And then there was times that he himself was going to leave the camp. So no, none of these training. You had Rob McCracken wasn't there the first fight. You just left him with Angel. Angel's like, okay, what the hell? You know, I'm going to do the best I can do. But then Joshua has his own mind. Then he loses in a boxing match to Usyk, okay? Then the second fight, he brings in Robert Garcia. Robert Garcia really didn't have anything to add. Okay, body punches, okay? That's, if you could credit Robert Garcia, for anything, it would be body punching. And okay, he learned how to throw punches to the body. But then he should have learned that the first fight. And that gets you to thinking like, okay, where was AJ's mind still at? Because once he found out, okay, it's hard to hit this guy in the head. Where are you? I can't see you. Oh, there you go. Oh, there you go. Right in my face. He should have learned, let me go to the body, and he didn't. So that shows you he was just as confused the first fight as he was the second. The second, he knew, okay, well, here's the main target of interest is this man's body. Go to his body. Get in that rib cage. Go to that liver. Hit him in the solar plexus, okay? Beat him up downstairs. Take some air out of those tires. Those are the type of things that we seen, but we just didn't see enough of. We seen rallies from AJ. We seen moments in there like round 9 that he tried, but he didn't do enough. He didn't do enough because right after that, Usyk came back in round 10, okay? And he answered round 9. That's that mental. That's why that Tyson Fury Usyk fight is going to be so important because you're going to see a guy like even if Tyson throws and lands 2 or 3 punches on Usyk, and I'm pretty sure he will, Usyk's going to come right back with the same type of aggression and energy with an attack. So based on this wrapping this up, I know I let that go along because I had to hear that through. AJ had a team that really wasn't intact, that they didn't have enough time to get with AJ. They should have took another fight before that. Hey, Lennox Lewis got knocked out by Oliver McCall and beaten by him. Okay. And then he had 5 fights in between. No, 4 fights in between. Then he fought Oliver McCall, which was a strange fight. Okay. So you shouldn't expect AJ to get right back in there like he did with Andy Ruiz because it was a different type of defeat. You know, it was a different type of defeat. He was trying to fight. That's just like this, people. Let me give you a better example. That's like Ike Barabucci trying to fight Chris Bird by boxing him. He was not going to win. Ike Barabucci knew, I'm going to knock this guy out because there's no beating Chris Bird with boxing him. Are you crazy? That's Chris Bird, bro. One of the quickest, sharpest, slickest, rated heavyweights that we had in the 90s or through the 2000s, rather. Okay? But imagine Ike called himself, I'm going to try to box him and stay behind my jab. What are you, crazy? He's going to outbox you. That's exactly what Alexander Usyk did. But you guys tell me what you think of Angel Fernandez breaking silence, saying that it was his fault, claiming responsibility for the whole thing. If I had to guess, it's both of their fault. It's all 3 of their faults. It's AJ's fault. It's Rob McCracken's fault for not paying attention to his star pupil. And it's Angel Fernandez's fault because he should have had more help. But of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.